stage with all the best. A lot of good it did for me. I've walked the wall of China, walked till my feet were sore. Came home to Carolina and found my love next door. Well, what do you know? I didn't have to travel the world. Yeah, what do you know? To find a brown-eyed man for a blue-eyed girl. What do you know? Somehow all that I've been longing for was found right here next door to me. Well, what do you know? I didn't have to travel the world. Yeah, what do you know? To find a brown-eyed man for a blue-eyed girl. What do you know? Somehow all that I've been longing for was found right here next door to me. I rode that Trans-Siberian, been shipwrecked and washed ashore. Got travel story Shakespearean, still I found my love next door. Well, what do you know? Oh, I didn't have to travel the world. Yeah, what do you know? To find a brown-eyed man for a blue-eyed girl. What do you know? Somehow all that I've been longing for was found right here next door to me. Was found right here
Hello and good evening and welcome to my stream. It has been a while that I'm ready to continue streaming on Fallout 1. Unfortunately, if you have checked my previous video, we had a lot of bugs, so I had to apply the fixed version, which is a community patch that hopefully solves most of the problems. But in the background I had to rerun from the beginning for the third time because Fixit doesn't support all saves. So I had to recreate the character, do all the quests, all the dungeons, everything all over again. Thankfully it was pretty fast, and now we have reached the point where I stopped in my last stream, which is right outside the gates of Junktown, a place which is basically a town made of junk. Big surprise there, yeah? So we'll continue the story right now. We'll do a small recap. We were tasked by the overseer of Vault 13 to find a replacement for the Vault's water jet because it's broken and we only have supplies for 5 months. This is actually a time limit existing in game. It's not only words like most modern games, meaning after 140 days, game over. No matter what you are, no matter what you do, it's game over. Now, in patch 1.1, if I recall, that Interplay released back to the time, they removed that. But right now we're playing with old timer zone. I set it up in the patch to make things more interesting. This means if we take too much time, the vault will die, and later there's a possibility of every single town in the game dying. This was supposed to be how it's supposed to be Fallout 1. Hey Void, yeah, I see your comment. 1 second. How's it now? Is it better? No problem. Thank you for the feedback. So, as I was saying, we'll continue. This is actually the very first town where we have to do major quests. We have to pick sides. Everything before this was basically a tutorial, tutorial. Now we're gonna go in for the big game. And the first person we meet is this guy. So basically he's part of the police force of Junktown, and he mentions Gizmo, which is the local mobster, and a fat fit, apparently. So this is an interesting first experience of Westland civilization. Despite, well, being a Westland, the guy tells us that the police force can't go against the local gang and crime lord, because they need evidence. Apparently, due process is an important thing after nuclear war. So he mentioned, killing Darkwater, who is an important player in town. He's a mayor slash sheriff slash good-looking guy, I guess. But before we go there, we're gonna do a small stopover in the local clinic. And this is Doc Morbid. I wonder where he picked that name. So, as we see, Dr. Morbid is a bit of a dickhead, so hey, maybe he has something else hidden. What's that? That's a ladder. You see a rotten midget. So yeah, Doc Morbid sells his patients for shish kebab. I mean, if you go to a doctor named Morbid, that's unhuman. What do you expect? So it's time to apply a little bit of wasteland justice here. And down goes the midget. Something I didn't expect to say today when I woke up. So these two guys are Doc Morbid's enforcers, I guess. Assistants, and Flash. And we're gonna make sure they go and meet their maker pretty fast. And that's it. We're done. Now, remember this hole, isn't it? We'll find the second part later in the game, because there was a buyer for all this meat. And this whole incident isn't only funny, and it's also profitable because it gives us access to a shotgun, well, two shotguns, and most importantly, this armor, which is actually one of the best until you get up to combat armor and of course power armor. To give you a comparison, the first Fallout doesn't have that many items, so the ability change between the level up between items is really big. So for example, we go from armor class 17 in this leather jacket to armor class 24 and 25% resistance. That's a pretty important difference. But we're gonna keep this jacket because we have an old friend that we're gonna meet later and we're gonna need it. I remember maybe there's some stuff here. Yeah! Oh look, 3 grenades just lying around. Now there's a small issue with Junktown. There are a lot of battles that are going to happen in the city area, like this one with the doctor. The problem is that sometimes the whole city becomes aggressive for some reason. I don't know, the game bugs out, and as a result, everyone is attacking you. And generally, this is not only annoying because you have to wait for like 20 people, but mostly give you those experience. So if that happens, you'll notice I do frequent saves. That's the reason I do that. And this is the mayor slash sheriff.
Now what the Uncle Sam hell do you think you're doing
This is the
here?
guy. And as I mentioned, I think in a previous video, this guy is actually voiced by Richard Dean Martin, if I remember the name correctly, who is really famous as MacGyver in the 80s series and Stargate, the original SG-1 series. Pretty famous person, and actually if you notice, the face of the character and his style kinda reflects of the actor.
You're damn straight this is my place. Now get the hell out before I make your head a wall decorate.
Why? Get down.
Well, congratulations. You just earned yourself a night in the...
So there you go. Ian apparently just walked inside his room and he became angry about it, so that's it. Okay, I need to reload. Ian, behave, please.
Can I help you? The name's Killian Darkwater. I'm the mayor of this fine town. And who might you be? Not much up that way except desert and shady sands. Oh yeah, sure you do. And when you were a baby, your crib was a safe. Don't feel bad. Ain't the worst story I've been told. So, well, Junktown's not much, but it's home. Mostly we trade with people or let them forget their troubles for a bit. Of course, we have our share of problems. From outside, we've had the occasional to-do with the cons, but they've been pretty quiet lately. Inside, trouble's been from the skulls, and I hear some strange things happening down by the hub, but they haven't affected us yet. Knock on my mother-in-law's head.
He mentioned the cans. These are the same cans that appear in Fallout New Vegas, in Red Canyon, if I recall, and as enemies of the NCR.
Well, Junktown's not much, but it's home. Mostly we trade with people or let them forget their troubles for a bit. Oh, we got tons to do. The Scum Pit's on the east side by the entrance. Great drinking place. Gizmo's is near there. And if you're hurting, Doc Morbid's your man.
No, he's not even my man. He's not, most definitely not my man anymore.
Oh, we got tons to do. Well, that's a damn fine coincidence. That's what this store's here for.
Okay. This goes away. This goes away. Not yet. Yeah, we don't need all this. Oh yeah, in the game only allows 3-digit numbers, so yeah. Even if we already have in the first major store like 1,000 plus bottle caps, so I have no idea why they did it like that. So the maximum you can transfer is 999. Yeah, so it's an assassination attempt. Unfortunately for him, he decided to attack the mayor in front of 6 fully armed men, so good planning there, buddy.
Listen, thanks for saving my life. It's a mighty brave thing to do. Now, it looks like we've got ourselves a situation here. I know Gizmo's behind this, but I need proof. You interested in helping?
Yeah, this is this is really interesting. I haven't noticed that the first couple of times I played Fallout 1, but apparently he's like, I know Gizmo's behind this, but the assassin literally yelled, Gizmo sends his regards. So yeah, good thinking, I guess, there. You're a great detective, but also in real life, that will be, I think, grounds for at least an arrest. So yeah, okay, I guess he almost blew your brains out. Yeah, I mean, nothing suspicious there.
Now, if I get proof, the people of Junktown will kick him out. The way I figure it, you need to either plant a bug at his place or wear a wire and get him to confess to you. Can you handle that? I tell you what, anything in the store, even the most expensive, it's yours. No charge. All right. I owe you. Can I help you? Can I help you? Well, howdy.
And we're done here. Let's check in on the local motel. And since we checked in the local motel, let's check in with the local prostitute. Really? God damn it. I just got blocked by a professional. That's a low point. Hello Zero, I just noticed your comments. I mentioned earlier in the video that I had to redo the whole first quests and cities all over again because I applied the fix-it patch, but it's fine so far. I hope it's great for you as well. So Skulls is the local gang, the guy in the city's entrance mentioned. Okay, I will not handle Skulls yet. Let's check the local bar. I mean, we have to see the whole sightseeing tour of Junktown, the local motel, the local prostitute, and now the local sleazy bar. Happy to hear your audience is growing, Zero. Nice. I also had a relaxed time. I had to find the mental fortitude to replay Fallout, so I was a bit away of streaming from streaming for a while. But I managed to get in today, and hopefully this will be easier from now on. And this is Gizmos. This is the Fat Guys Casino. Oh, and to all Fallout fans, do you see this guy here? This little four-legged guy. This is the first and only Dogmeat, the famous dog that started all dogs from all other Fallout games are based on this guy. So, if you read the description here, it's not obvious, but it describes the leather armor you wear in game. That's why we kept it. But it's also a nod and a pretty good description of Mel Gibson in Mad Max. So, Dogmeat was actually started as a shout out to Mad Max, which has influenced Fallout tremendously, if you have seen the movie. But also, it's a shout out to another post-apocalyptic movie of the 70s, if I recall, which is weird as hell, and it's called A Boy and His Dog. The funny accent is Mel Gibson's Australian accent, I think, at the time. So, we have an option either to shoot dead meat or, well, who shoots dead meat? So, the other option is to make us look like Mel Gibson. The dog seems to think you are his owner. There you go, we have dog meat. Who's a good dead meat? Yeah, I wanted to test Fix It, the patch. In the first game, your companions don't level up and they don't change what they wear, the armor. So that's okay in general. At the beginning of the game, you are fighting humans, but when you hit the later levels, they're getting shredded to pieces. Like they don't stand a chance, and especially the final 1-2 fights. They pretty much, even if they survive all the traps, they get sliced in half by the enemies. And this actually was so common that they actually reflected that in Fallout 2 manual, where the intro is a little bit of diary from this guy, the hero of Fallout 1, and he says that basically everyone is dead by the point of the end game. Like, I attacked that base, and Ian died, and that guy died, and then Dogmeat died, etc. And in Fallout 2 they allowed you to, I don't remember level up, but they allow you to wear armor to your companions. And the fix-it guys, the people behind the patch, the community patch, retroactively activated for Fallout 1 as well. So I just tested, and this is Ian in a Cobalt armor, which is weird for me. Since I played this game many times, and Ian was always this guy with the jeans and a black leather coat. And now he looks completely different for me, but I will get used to it. Thank you, Zero. This is actually one of the reasons I chose Fallout, because it's probably one of my top 3 games for many years. And I actually had read about it quite a lot, and that's why I wanted to share it, to share not only the game, which is quite old as you can see, but also share nice how do you call it? Bits of info that even regular players don't know. But thank you very much. So, another thing I wanted to point out is that you can't actually access the inventory of your companions unless you steal from them. So you use the steal skill to open their inventory, and you can change everything you want. There's no chance of them getting angry, which is not the case with normal NPCs. But yeah, this is the way they did it for some reason, and I don't think there's anywhere in the manual or tutorial mentioning this. So back in the 90s, you had to guess this yourself. Well, stick around and you will learn a couple of things. There's a few things I know about Fallout. So, even as a self-proclaimed casual, I don't know if there's any casual player. Everyone is a player for me. You will have an encyclopedic knowledge of Fallout that you can pull out in parties. It's not going to be a successful matter of discussion and will not get you some ladies, but you will have it. Really? And what did she say about the French fries? So you used the knowledge I gave you. I hope for a good goal. Of course, it was Belgian and you were talking about fries. It's like talking about burgers or steaks with an American. Or guns. Or politics. Okay, so wait, I actually gave you some knowledge that you used to get a girl talking to you? Gee, I didn't expect that. You proved me wrong. Apparently trivia can get you something. Okay, so you can actually play all these games and there is a way to break the game completely in the first town. Basically, if you play all these casino games, your success is based on your luck stat actually, so it's not completely random like it will be in a modern game or whatever. It's based on your character, which means if you have a very high luck stat, you can actually win more than 50%, let's say. So let's say you have 50% normally, I don't recall the chances, but let's say 50%. It increases to 51 or something based on one number of the higher luck is the higher luck attribute is. So what people do is basically they start playing let's say roulette, and they really fast hit the keys to proceed the dialogue and repeat again and again and again and again and again. And either you lose, either you win, it doesn't matter because your chances are higher than 50%, which means overall, if you play like 100 times, you're gonna win 50 plus times. So you're actually guaranteed a gain. So if you go really fast, you start printing money in Fallout, for Fallout, and basically you can end up with thousands and thousands of bottle caps just like that. And it's pretty easy to actually do it accidentally, because if you increase your luck for whatever reason in the character creation and decide to play the game, I think you will start noticing that you're winning, and what's to stop you from playing as much as you want. That was a big developer's oversight, to be honest. But our luck sucks because I never play a luck-based character, so yeah. We're not going for Gizmo yet. I rushed the other towns of the game, but Junktown, as I said, it's the first major one, and it's actually I like it really much as a location, so we're gonna take it a bit slow. Okay, let's play it differently, because using one-liners from movies doesn't work great. So this is Tycho. He's coming from Nevada, the area where Fallout New Vegas actually takes place. So, we can recruit Cassidy. We are our third companion. And for those that have played Fallout New Vegas, this guy, this bald guy, is the father of Rose of Shannon Cassidy. That is a companion in Fallout New Vegas. To refresh your memories, he's the cattle caravan leader that you found at the border of California and Nevada. She likes to drink, and you can recruit her and have her as a companion. And let's hear that. Now that's what I'm talking. Bar with a live event. Well, live event, and the protagonist is dead. So yeah, the guy just dismembered someone in front of you and you have no other option. Great. So apparently these waiters got beat up by a couple of guys. These couple of guys are part of the Skulls gang back in the motel. And we're gonna loot their clothes. If you missed that, by the way, this little pixel thingy here is this guy's wife's ashes. It's an urn. He just has it lying there. Yeah, it's Fallout 3. I haven't tried Tale of Two Cities. For me, Fallout 3, I don't want to go into this discussion, especially since Fallout, but for me, Fallout 3, it's not a Fallout game. It's a game taking place in a universe of Fallout, but it's so far removed from the main games that I have no idea what they were going for. Fallout New Vegas is great, you should finish, and especially the expansions. You should try the mods from Nexus. I might try Fallout New Vegas after this one. I might skip Fallout 2 because they changed the producer, I think was the position where Chris Avalon took over. And he introduced a lot of the silliness that we came to know in the later Fallout games. He introduced the concept that the vaults are all a grand plan by a secret shadow government of the United States. He introduced aliens. There are cameos from Tom Cruise, well, and Scientology and stuff like that. So I might skip Fallout 2 and go directly to New Vegas and finish New Vegas and then the expansions, which I never finished because I also had issues with the PC. Yeah, Fallout 3 has it's 3D, which is an improvement. It has nice set pieces, but compared to the previous Fallouts, it's weird. Like for example, even in your second town you visit, right here you have a civilization, right? You have bars, you have casinos, you have restaurants. Well, yeah, you know what I mean. Motels, even a prostitute. In Fallout, and this takes place. This is the earliest Fallout game. This is only 70 years since the bombs fell. Fallout 3 supposedly takes 170 years after the bombs fell, and the situation is actually worse than it is. In the older Fallout games, like there are ruins everywhere, monsters everywhere, and the quest, the basic quest, is pretty silly for me. And I have never played Fallout 4 because after Fallout New Vegas, I didn't expect Bethesda to do a good job, and apparently they didn't. They did an okay, but again, it's not a Fallout, since Fallout are famous for the open-ended game. You can win this game, Fallout 1, without firing a shot, and they turn it into a kind of FPS hybrid Mass Effect thing. I can literally finish this game and win without actually meeting the big bad, like at all. This is Saul. This is the boyfriend of the waitress that got beat up. And he mentions the glow. One of his brothers got lost and never returned, looking for a place called the Glow. Gee, I wonder if this is a preview of something that we're gonna visit in the future. Okay, let's go meet the fat bastard.
What do you want? I'm a busy man.
Yeah, this disgusting pile of lard is Gizmo. Local mobster.
I don't know what you're talking about. Such as? And let me guess, you're that someone? Well, how can I trust you? All right, we can do this. But you work for me. You better know that. That's easy. I want him dead because he cramps my business. So, what are you doing for?
I don't remember what this reply does, but I'm gonna use it. Could you say that again, please? This time in my pocket where I'm bugged and recording your confession.
You're either real
Yeah, okay, obvious. Oh damn, he one-shot me. Okay.
Your life ends in the wasteland.
That was a bad choice of words. Yeah, it was really nice when it was released, and especially since they use famous people. Well, most of them. I don't know if you were there when I mentioned it. One of the characters in this town is played by Richard Dean Anderson from Stargate. And yes, I'm a fan, that's why I'm mentioning it again and again.
What do you want? I'm a busy man. I don't know what you're talking about. Such as, and let me guess. Well, how can I trust you? All right, that's easy. I want him dead because he cramps. Good. Return with the dog tags he wears around his neck.
Now, we had the quest to record his confession. I think we did. We will have to confirm with Gillian.
So, did you get the evidence? Which? Bug or tape?
It worked.
Let's hear it. That's the first time I've been happy to hear his voice. Thanks, friend. Now, time for you and me to take care of the other business. Well, thanks again. Well, listen, I'm gonna take the guards and run Gizmo and his cronies out of town. I could use another gun. You up for it? Might be good for a laugh. Well, I can pay you the standard rate for mercenary work. Good enough.
Done and done.
Go.
And level up. Let's go kill some fat mafiosos. Oh, dog went with a killing blow. Thanks, man. Yeah, what the hell happened? I think dog did a critical or something? Oh no, I gave him a shotgun blast in the face, 21 hit points damage, yeah. That was easier than I remember. Where was his bodyguard? Is it? Yeah? If you like the enemy unknown games, it's kind of similar to these ones. Like, it's turn-based, percentages, etc. But that's the combat style, and not a lot of people like it. I love it. So, really interesting. Something, I mean, they haven't foreseen other things, but they have foreseen this. The moment you kill Gizmo, the entire casino shuts down, everyone disappears. I don't remember if this guy died or it just gives you dead right now. It's his bodyguard. And he was supposed to be right next to him, but for some reason he wasn't. I think because the animation to move me in the front door when I finished talking to him, he didn't have the time to return, I guess. So the fight was way easier than I expected. And now it's loot time. So he died by a dog, but apparently he got blown up to pieces, including his chair, for some reason. I'm gonna steal all your stuff. Wait, where is Ian? Yeah, there's it's mostly story based, and combat comes kinda second, close second. But yeah, it's an RPG in the old-fashioned sense, meaning you're playing a role. You choose who you are, and you play. And the game tries at least accommodate different stories. So, for example, this was the first game, Fallout, and New Vegas did it as well, but if you set up your intelligence really low, I think it's 1 or 2, the entire dialogue options you have and the reactions of all the players, of all the NPC characters change, and you're basically a mentally retarded character that speaks with grunts, and people react to you the same. So it's pretty difficult actually to finish the game that way, because you miss a lot of quests, because people are dismissive of you. They're like, just get out of here, dumb asshole. But it's interesting that they changed the entire game just the chance that someone decides to play a low intelligence player. And until at least New Vegas, they kept it in, and a low intelligence run is quite famous in Fallout circles. So you'll see like speed run, no weapons run, and low intelligence run. Just a small detail I also want to add. Now, the dead body of Gizmo, usually all bodies disappear after a while, but Gizmo stays. And if you come back, which usually in Fallout 1, you don't really have a reason to come back to a town. I mean, when you're done with the quests, there's nothing else to do. If you want to buy things, the later towns have more variety and better gear. So there's not really a reason to come back. But if you do, somewhere back in the 90s in Interplay decided to animate Gizmo's dead body with flies decomposing. I don't know why they spent time on that, but this small detail they decided to add it. This small detail they decided to add it in the game. So if I remember it, I will come back to say hi to Gizmo and check his flies. So, one crime lord down, one to go. Yeah, let's crash for a bit to spend the night. Yeah, we have a hostage situation. Cynthia is the local hooker, so let's try and help her, and maybe we'll get complimentary services later. I'm doing it for altruistic reasons, of course. Okay, this is actually pretty difficult because if you fuck up, he actually shoots the girl and you don't have time to react. So you actually have to play the hostage negotiator. This is the word I was looking for. You play the hostage negotiator. It's a very old game, I will say. Not very, but it's like 1997. And good evening to you, young. Yeah, one of the best games. It's Fallout 1. Okay, so here comes the speech skill. There's no percentages and shit like that here. You just click and hope, pray for the best. Okay, so we give him a time. So, she's a hooker and she laughed at him. See, I wonder why. We're compensating there. Okay. So if you actually move... Yep. The game actually detects it and he starts shooting. But I don't want to resolve this situation like that, so let's reload. I just want to demonstrate that they had the foresight to set this up. And it's done. They are... well, they're not great, but they are really detailed for the time. Like, there's a lot of detail placed in the textures. And there are a lot of characters that get repeated again and again and again, which is unfortunate. But it's still playable. I didn't expect that. I'm playing this in 1440 resolution. And it's very playable. Like, if you can handle Minecraft, you can definitely handle this. That's what she said. Oh shit, what? There you go. So... one mob boss down, one crazy abductor down, one gang to go. So we're gonna sweet talk this this girl to turn witness. So normally you will go in and just start shooting people. You actually have three options. One, go in, just annoy the gang and start shooting people. And this is where the problem begins with the city, with the bug I mentioned earlier. If they turn aggressive, the entire town sometimes turn aggressive. So even if I wanted to go that route, I will try to avoid it or save again and again. There's the evil route, which is the gang sends you to steal the bar owner's dead wife's ashes during the night. And if I recall, he actually you have to sneak and get them, but if he wakes up, you can shoot him as well. And the more, let's say, complicated way is, and more official way, is to convince this girl to turn witness, and then you have the option to come in with the police and just kill everyone. Now, a small tip if you play older games, but this also applies to modern games actually. If you have two options and you are in the process of talking and trying to convince an NPC, usually, not always, but usually the one with the most lines is the correct one. So you don't need any guides. Gee, I just met you, and this is crazy, but you should go away and dump your friends. In 4 lines of speech. yeah, young, there's a lot of shooting in this game, and later we're gonna have crazy and big guns, rocket launchers, miniguns, you name it, and pieces of flesh flying around. I need to. Yeah, that was not the correct answer. Okay, I'm missing a step here, so let's go in with talk with the guy. So, okay. Yeah, so the option is to go for the ashes. Let's see if now it allows me. No. Okay, I'm missing a part. Let's see. Okay, okay. So, I got food from Herefridge and sold it back to the motel's owner. And theoretically I can steal it again from her and sell it back to her. Old games. Okay, what am I missing? And first of all, what am I missing? And second, where the hell is Ian? Did he... I think Ian died at some point and I missed that. There you go. I don't know why he got stuck there, but maybe I missed the dialogue option. Okay, we're gonna try Killian and then the girl right outside the door, but if this doesn't work, we'll just try to shoot our way through the story.
Well, howdy. What can I do for you today? Oh, we got tons to do. The Scum Pit's on the east side by the entrance. Great drinking place.
Nope. Okay. It's either a bag, so the chat. See, I'm gonna wait on another night. Ah, yeah, there you go. She has to move outside.
I've shared the stage with all the best. Lot of good it did for me. I've walked the wall of China.
I mean, I just saw you this morning, but okay, it's been well.
Came home to Carolina and found my love next door. Well, what do you know? I didn't have to travel the world. Yeah, what do you know?
So Terry took our advice and abandoned the gang, so now we're gonna try to get it.
What do you know? Somehow
Here is a good example of what I said. Guess which line is the appropriate one to get what you want.
next door
I
to
mean,
me.
it's pretty obvious. I mean, I didn't really help you, but fine, I guess.
Well, what do you know? I didn't have to travel the world. Yeah, what do you know? To find a brown-eyed man for a blue-eyed girl.
Young, I don't know if you know the Fallout series of games, they're really famous, but this is Fallout 1, and basically the story is that in 2077 there was a nuclear war that completely destroyed the planet. The character was part of a few people that survived inside an underground vault, well, his parents, because it has been 70 years since the war, and the overseer sent him out to find a water chip, because the water chip that filtrates the water for the vault broke. And since then we were running around trying to discover how is the world after the end. Meeting interesting people, doing interesting quests, and all with the goal to find the water chip and go back to our vault and save them. And we actually have a timer. We have 119 days until the water is over. There, I will play the briefing once more just to get people and into the story.
Handed down by this week's buffoon.
For some reason, music
But my heart makes no such demands.
The music and the movie volume is tied, so I need to turn it on.
Ah, you're here. Good. We've got a problem. A big one. The controller chip for our water purification system has given up the ghost. Can't make another one, and the process is too complicated for a workaround system. Simply put, we're running out of drinking water. No water, no vault. This is crucial to our survival. And frankly, I think you're the only hope we have. You need to go find us another controller chip. We estimate we have 4 to 5 months before the vault runs out of water. We need that chip. We marked your map with the location of another vault. Not a bad place to start, I think. Look, just be safe. Okay?
And that was it. Basically, that's the story so far. Zero, I'm sorry to hear that, man. Hope you get well soon. Oh man, and if it's a bad milk, I can imagine things are horrible right now. Hey, hope I become your company in the when you're doing your thing. If you watch Twitch through your phone. There you go, we can give the testimony. Oh, that was it. Yeah, it's done. And I think if you actually go and visit them, there are people. I think if you come back, there will be people inside the jail after a bit. Let me check. Yeah, 500 XP. That was kinda lame, to be honest. I expect more. Yeah, they're gone. So, one mobster down, one crazy guy down, and one gang down. And that's it for Junktown. We're done from this location. We're finished. Oh, also I mentioned a cannibal doctor that we killed earlier. So one cannibal doctor, one fat mobster, one hostage taker, and one gang down. All in a good day's work. Plus keeping company to our friend Zero and his food poisoning. Next stop, the hub. Now, I will put a pause here. I started kinda late today, so since we finished Junktown, I will prefer to keep at least a town per stream session. But I will give a bit of a preview what to expect. The hub is actually the biggest quest hub and city in the game, Fallout 1. It's at least 5-6 screens. If you noticed, you change screens. So this is like the biggest one. We have a lot of quests to do here. Things get serious. We can actually die in this case. We can get the second best armor here, and lots of interesting things to do. So that's why I want to keep it separate. So we're gonna put a small pause here. I will continue streaming tomorrow. I hope you had fun today. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up in the chat. I will be more than happy to answer them for you. And if you have any suggestions to make my streaming better, you have my ears, as they say. I'll be more than happy to hear what you have to say and your advice or your opinions. Thank you for being here today with me. I also wanted to mention that Young 2006 is the latest subscriber, and actually I reached the goal I had set up for myself to reach for the first month, to have 12 subscribers. So Young, thank you very, very much for subscribing, and you are the 12th person. I had set that goal to keep me going, so now I will keep doing this. Have a great night and see you soon.